So there is a handy little tip to access two hidden screws, so stay tuned on this video and I'll show you what they're all about. And they're just in there, just where that little ducat is. Now get yourself something nice and slim. I'm using an ice scraper, and you want to try and lever up that front panel first of all. There's 3 screws underneath it. Just get one corner up, just take your time, and there's little clips. You're trying to make that panel come horizontally up. You don't want to try and twist it or pull it too much in the front. You'll snap the pegs at the back. So try and lift the back as much as you can, which is near the clock. And as I remove the panel here, you can see these clips I'm talking about. You need to try and push them horizontally up in that direction. So get yourself a little posi drive to access these 3 screws here. Simply get those removed, and if you've managed to follow my previous video, which I did 3 years ago, and you've left out those 2 hidden screws, that's it. To remove the radio, you're pretty much there. You can just simply pull it and it will come free like that there, and away she comes, and you can access the back and the plugs. Now these bottom mounts is what I'm talking about. There's 2 screws, and as I said, if you haven't already removed them and left them off, then you're going to need to remove the center panel. So this is how you do that. Underneath this piece, there is fittings and fixings that I need to get to. So now I've got to take out this part here, and I've got to take out this section here where the armrest is, and the whole lot's got to come off so that this can then come out, so that behind here I can get to these screws. I get this driver's side panel off. Okay. And then there's a screw here, because we've got to take this front face underneath the steering wheel off. That's that away. Okay, there's one fixing point there. You just need to remove that. Things on the passenger side. That's if you're in the UK, of course. Yeah, they're not going to come out. Let's try and use my other tool. Oh, there you go, that's snapped. Let's try this one. Yep, and that snapped as well, so make sure you get a few spare ones. Anyway, it's loose. Right, the other fixing point is just down here with the seat back. $7 mil. There's also a posi head on it. Okay, and there'll be one obviously on the other side as well, on the driver's side. This is the one on the back driver's side. Oh, that one's a screw. Okay, maybe there's an aftermarket fixing. I think that might have been a replacement screw in there by the looks of it. And it does the job. And obviously you've got one more on the passenger side as well. Okay, as the screws out, let's see what happens now. It's starting to lift from the back of this. Yeah, it's starting to come free. Someone's opened this before and there's a crack there. I've noticed that before. There we go. Right, so this gear this handbrake section here is now separated. I'm going to see if I can slide that off. Maybe. They're my screws, I don't want to lose those, so let's cover that up. Aha, there we go. Pull the handbrake up fully. Success! There we go. Now that that's out of the way, this one I should just move out quite easily. Nearly there. There's a little clip in the middle, and I can see somebody's tried to glue this. It's been broken before, so he's probably not realised there was a clip there, and that's it there. So that middle one, I might try and glue that back. You can just about see that there. There's one in the middle. I'll move the gear stick down. Now I've got my phone cable through here, so I'll just push that back so that I can remove this. In fact, you probably wouldn't need to take the whole thing out because I can get to the screws now, but for the sake of this video I'm going to take it off. Now, the handbrake's definitely better if you take it up. I'm going to remove this trim because I forgot I've got my USB through there, so that's what's stopping it. There we go. And there's the console underneath the radio out. Not bad, not bad. This module that I'm going to put in here, this is the Bluetooth module. Not put it behind the radio. I'm purposely going to put it probably somewhere here. Right, so importantly, what we need to do now is there's one here and there's one here. So let's do that. I think it's a 7mm again. Yes, it's the same as what with the original fixing. This one. Let's put that back in my little central bit there so I don't lose it. I find it a lot easier to use a little mini socket set like this rather than screwdrivers, because you can take that off and put a posi drive on the end or whatever you want. They're a lot easier. Trying to fight with a screwdriver because of the long length of the handle. Right, now I think all I need to do now is lift this out. So let's give it a go. Aha! So back up to 2024 with the radio now removed. Let's have a look at the back and the all-important connectors. This grey one was the first one I tried 3 years ago. I bought a Bluetooth module, plugged it into that space there, and unfortunately it just didn't play any sound. There's LED lights flashing on the module, but nothing. This is the new white one that I've bought. It goes into what is a vacant slot. Again, the Bluetooth module has these LED lights and they show that it was connected. It flashed fast and then it went steady state, connected to my mobile phone, and I was hoping to be able to play music. So I managed to get the radio off, just unplugged all the harnesses, but one of the things I noticed is that the button, the AM FM, was a little bit kind of temperamental, and I started thinking to myself, I wonder if that CD audio button, the contact behind it is not doing something. I know reading online, I've got a 2009 Honda Civic, that there's definitely a period where there's no audio connection. Some of the Honda Civics have it in the armrest, mine doesn't. But nevertheless, I'd expect something to happen when I press that. So what I've done is I've taken the radio off, taken all the screws out. It's pretty easy, just follow the screws around the edge, undo that. And then underneath here, you got like a little plastic dust cover. But one of the first things I noticed was, I'll remove that, is you can just, is here that it's like a brown, almost as if there's moisture there. It's dry now, but I don't think that should be there. I don't know if from just the soldering back in the day. That's the dials. I mean, they work fine, there's no issue with it, but yeah, I'm wondering what's behind this board. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. I'm just undoing all the little screws and see if I can get behind it, because behind it is where the push button pushes onto the PCB for the CD audio. So let's have a look behind and see what I can see, if I can get to it. Little screws. Okay. I need to take these knobs off. Oh, there we go, there's one. hopefully that one as well. Oh, there we are. Right, so that's on the other side of your stereo. This is obviously, so here we've got the rear, and then this CD audio button and the FM was a little bit sticky. So I'm just seeing if I can find out where that presses against. It's a little micro switch. So it is the, oh, that's nice, actually got written on it, that's really good. So this one here is my CD audio. I mean, it feels great, there's nothing there untoward. And then the AM FM button is the one next to it, and that all looks good as well. So the board looks pretty good. It doesn't look like anything. There is a little bit of this brown sort of dust mark. I'll clean that up and see, maybe get a little fine brush, and there's a little bit here as well. But it's pretty basic. It doesn't look like there's anything that's too concerning. It's a shame. I just generally think that my particular radio doesn't have that feature. So even though it connected, and even though the Bluetooth was showing on my phone, there's not that trigger. So that CD, the connection in the back is actually for the CD auto changer, I believe. And when I connect my Bluetooth, it should trigger the unit to switch on to the CD auto changer. And evidently it's not doing it. So I'll have to call it a day, I'm afraid, but I'll give those a clean and we'll see what happens. So somebody actually did ask me recently, where am I a mechanic? Well, no, I'm not a mechanic, but where I'm standing is kind of how I started getting into stuff and the love of knowing how stuff works in engineering. This is actually my beloved dad, who's just passed away. This was his workshop. He was a builder, and he built the workshop I'm standing in. I'll give you a little tour so you could see. And when the age of about 8, which was many moons ago, this is where I spent most of my time making stuff, taking stuff apart and trying to work out how things work. Look at these cobwebs. And a lot of this stuff, I kid you not, has been here since the late 70s, early 80s. It just hasn't changed. Everything you see, all of this here, this I reckon has probably been here for about 40 years. Up there, these are the original saws that cut these beams. These are about 400-500-year-old solid oak beams. This was doing when he did his lathe work. He had a lot of wood tools and things, but the whole barn was actually built for a house. This was going to be where his parents were going to live. Unfortunately, planning permission put an end to that, but nevertheless, this was all built literally by him. Every single beam was dragged by hand, and if you look closely, he did it the old school way, and he used pins. So he drills holes, and instead of it being bolted, you can see here it's drilled through with a wooden pin to lock it all in place. So they're all recycled beams. And yeah, I spent many a happy time in here as a kid. And what have you got now? You got YouTube. Here it is. This is where I spent most of my childhood, on this vise, taking stuff apart, trying to put it back together again. I've still got all my old tools in there, and yeah, a lot of sentimental values. Give you an idea of what it took to cut these beams. Have a look at that saw up there. I'll put that window up there. Good, isn't it? And these gates, he put all those up himself as well. Well, we're all back again. It's all working. So, clean it all. I was hoping I might get a little bit of joy on those contacts, but the fact that I know the CD button's working, because if I go now, it actually switches over a lot easier. That button was definitely sticky before. I thought maybe it was just a blank button. You know, manufacturing, they build these units for saving costs across lots of different models of cars, but the fact that I can now press the CD and it loads the CD track, I know that that button's working. It just doesn't have the audio, which is a bit annoying really, because you would think that they would, it's got CD/audio, you'd expect it to have that audio, but checking online, it looks like there's a definite period, a couple of years, where if you've got the 2009, between 2006 2009, there seems to be a lot of people with the connectivity issue when you're trying to do Bluetooth. So sadly, again, this little adapter didn't work. It fitted all right and it connected all right. And in fact, what I found was when I turned the key off and turned it back on again, then it seemed to go quiet as if it was trying to do something. The only problem I had was I couldn't hear anything. So it didn't trigger the CD player, as in the auto changer, to kick in. And that's what it should have done, but instead, obviously, it would have been the Bluetooth. So on this occasion, my little device, and it's the second time I've tried to try and plug something in, different ports, it hasn't worked, but I don't really care. It was interesting to work it out. At least I know exactly what's going on the radio. I know it's easy to take off. I'm not that fussed. As I said, this is my little commuter car. I don't want to spend too much money on it. If I really was going to do it, I strip all this out and I get a proper little touchscreen. But it was worth a go. And you got to see my childhood garage as well. So that's got to be worth a subscribe. Appreciate getting to the end of the video. Cheers for watching. See you on the next one. By the way, if you like your Mercedes SL, I've got a splitter, front lip splitter installed coming up just for you.
Let's move on, 'cause it's time to move on.